Good morning. Good morning to one and all. Today we discuss about the microwave components. Yesterday we discussed some components. So I want to discuss today microwave waveguide attenuators and phase shifters. So waveguide components and applications. So we already discussed the some components, screws and post and IATs and waveguide coupling mechanism, how it will be represented, some of the definitions. And now I want to discuss about the attenuation and phase shifters of the waveguide. So coming to the attenuation, here attenuation means it will be generally used for the measuring the power gain and power loss in the microwaves. So attenuators are commonly used for the measurement of the power gain and loss in dB. So for perfect matching, we require the microwave power waveguide to observe the completely without any reflections. Observe the completely without any reflections. So attenuators are commonly used for the measuring the power gain and losses in the dB. So whatever you want to signal, you want to transmit it with some loss or with some dB. So if you, for suppose you want to transmit the 20 dB signal, you want to require, then you will go for the attenuations. So generally here, by using the waveguide attenuators are used for providing the isolation between instruments, reducing the input power to prevent the overloading. So basically, the attenuators which will be used for isolation between the components or instruments between the waveguides. So they will be provide the isolation. So there will be whenever you are providing the isolation, that perfect matching will be takes place. So another important point is reducing the input power to prevent the overloading. If you require only 50 dB of the power, but they're obtaining the 70 dB, there you can use the attenuators. There you can use the attenuators. So attenuators are classified into the two ways. One is fixed attenuator and variable attenuator. These both attenuators which will be supported the main functionality isolation between the instruments, and they will be also be reduces the input power to prevent the overloading. Okay, this is the main functionality. The basic function is to measure the power across the waveguide. How much of power or how much of loss in the power, and that will be measured in dB. Okay, and coming to the fixed attenuator, the name itself has a fixed amount of attenuator value will be takes place. So it will be used where the fixed amount of attenuation is provided. So here you want to transmit only 10 dB. So 10 dB fixed attenuator will be used. The manufacturer which will be designed according to the fixed attenuator. They doesn't change the attenuator value. So whenever the component of the fixed attenuator will not be changed. Okay. So suppose you want to 12 dB or 13 dB, there is not possible to obtain that particular attenuation. So the attenuators which will be used for the fixed amount of attenuation, there will be always be fixed. It doesn't change the values from the manufacturer. Okay. So another point, if it is absorbs the entire energy, then it will be acts as a waveguide terminal. So which will be called as a waveguide terminal. Total signal will be absorbed, then will be consider the total energy will be absorbed in the across that particular waveguide, then this type of representation is considered as a waveguide terminal. Here we can see some shorting plate and dielectric slab will be considered here. So microwave power will be forwarded in that particular direction. Then we can consider the waveguide. So in the waveguide, whenever we are placing the attenuation, fixed attenuator will be used. That doesn't change the value of that particular attenuation. If it is considered as a 10 or if it is considered as a 20, whatever may be. Okay. And coming to the variable attenuator. Okay, here the name which will be represents the variable, that means continuous. Okay, so that will be represented here. So this provides the continuous or stepwise variable attenuation. It provides the continuous or stepwise variable attenuation. So whatever the requirement of the user, they will be provided the variable attenuator. Okay, so here we have three types of variable attenuators. They are flap type attenuator, van attenuator, rotatory van precision type attenuator. So flat type attenuator and van attenuator, van type attenuator and rotatory van precision attenuator. So flat type and van attenuators are used for rectangular waveguide sections most often. Okay. So flat type and van type, both first top to what are the representation, they will be used for rectangular waveguide sections. Rotatory van precision attenuator used for circular waveguide section. So rotatory van only for use for the circular waveguide section. So here you can see flat type attenuation. Here some dielectric component which is a disc type that will be inserted longitudinally to the waveguide, and that will be controlled by the some screws that will be adjustable by the some knob and screws. Okay, this is the attenuation representation. So here you can see flat type attenuator consists of the resistive element or disc inserted into the longitudinal slot cut along the center of the vendor dimension of the guide. So always the slot, that means disc or a resistive element, that will be placed across the center of the vendor dimension of the guide. So always they will be placed in the center position of the waveguide. So the degree of attenuation is determines the depth of the penetration of the flap. So how much it will be placed means that will be depends on the depth of the penetration of the flap. So here you can see in the diagram minimum attenuation and maximum attenuation. So minimum attenuation means the whatever the resistive element that will be placed from the edge of the waveguide, then it will be considered as a minimum attenuation. If it is depth, it will be inserted into the depth, the maximum attenuation will be obtained. So it is not a precision attenuator. So it is not exact values will not be obtained, or accurate attenuator will not be considered for the flat type. Okay. And coming to the van type attenuator. Here the van type attenuator consists of the glass van coated with the carbon material. So there is a using the some glass van which is coated with the some carbon material. Here you can see the position of the attenuation will be different from the flat type. Okay. So here also the van type is used for the use it at the center to make a movable so that we can use consider as a variable attenuator. So the whatever the carbon material that will be placed across the center, and it will be movable by using the bowl, and based on that it will be called as a variable attenuator. So you can see the maximum attenuation and minimum attenuation. Maximum attenuation will be obtained across the edge of the edges of the waveguide is placed across the van, then it will be considered as a minimum attenuation will be occurred, and maximum attenuation will be obtained. The van is at the center of the waveguide, then the maximum attenuation will be occurred. Then the maximum attenuation will be occurred. This is the van type attenuation of the represented. Both the van type and flat type, which will be used for the rectangular only. You can see in the diagram that will be rectangular shaped waveguide will be utilized, and rotatory van precision attenuator. This is the good precision attenuator. The accurate values will be obtained across the attenuation. You can see here where consists of the three resistive vans. This type of attenuator having the two rectangular waveguide sections and one circular waveguide section, which is rotatable at the center of the at the center placed. Okay, here you can see first one and last one, which is considered as a rectangular, and the middle resistive waveguide section, which is considered as a resistive van, that will be rotatable according to the input signal. According to the input signal, and here you can see whenever you're transmitting the electromagnetic wave, whenever you're transmitting the electromagnetic wave through the first van, to transmit the only electric field, we are placing the resistive van 90 degrees to the E component. Okay, whenever the EM wave that will be entered into the van, there are only electromagnetic waves that will be takes place, placing the due to the resistive van, the 90 degrees of the E component will be obtained. So whenever it will be reaches to the here, what will be happen when E component will be considered as first van prevents the horizontal polarization and transmits the vertical polarization. The wave consists of the both sine and cos component. To attenuate the sine component, we are rotating the central circular waveguide section to the 0 degrees. Then from the second band, we are getting the field components as E cos theta. So whenever first van that will be having the 90 degrees, they will have the both E and cos sine and sine components. We want to eliminate the sine component. The second van, which will be rotated into the 0 degrees, then it will be eliminated. Finally, we can obtain E cos theta that will be given to the third van. That will be given to the third van. Finally, we are getting the E cos square theta field lines from the third van. This is the rotating the second component based on the first and second and third vans. We are considering the exact accurate attenuated values for the measurements. Okay, this is the rotatory van precision, only used for the circular waveguide sections only. Okay, it will be applicable at the circular waveguide section. This is the attenuation process. So far we discussed the waveguide attenuation. So attenuation, which will be used for the measuring of the power losses or power gain in dBs. So also it will be provides the used for the isolation between the components of the waveguides, and also they will be reduces the input power according to that particular to overcome the overloads across the section. Okay, these are the purpose of the waveguides. When basically waveguides are two types. So one is attenuation, fixed attenuation, and variable attenuation. We are discussing so far. Okay, and coming to the phase shifters. Here, phase shifters, which will be provides the phase of the phase to the waveguide, which will be propagated into the waveguide, which will be propagated into the waveguide. So always you must be provide the phase to the EM wave in the waveguide. So that will be also be depends on the length of the waveguide also. That will be also be depends on the length of the waveguide also. Okay, and so coming to the phase shifters, we have two types of waveguide phase shifters. One is fixed phase shifter and second one is variable phase shifter. Whatever the attenuation, there we are measuring the power of the signal, power in gain or loss. But coming to the phase shifter, here you are maintaining the phase of the electromagnetic wave. You must be provide the phase to the electromagnetic wave, which is propagated in the waveguide. So here it deals with the phase of the signal. So common general formula for the phase is given as phase shifter phase is considered as beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda z. Beta is equal to 2 pi by lambda z. So phase shifters in the waveguide depends on the parameter of the guided wavelength lambda z. So always if the lambda z value guided wavelength will be reduces, then phase shift value will be increases. If the guided wavelength value will be increases, automatically the phase of the signal will be reduces. So only it will be depends on the phase guided wavelength. So in waveguides, the phase shifter is the major role in that particular section. Okay. If the phase shifter is fixed, then this type of phase shifter is known as a digital phase shifters. So digital phase shifters are used in the applications of bridges and instruments mainly. Okay, and the other name also we can also dielectric phase shifters. The phase shifters which will be fixed type of, then this type of representations is considered as a dielectric phase shifters. So coming to the, if the phase shifters is variable or continuous, then it will be also be called as analog phase shifters. So analog phase shifters, which is always be variable and continuously they will be changes the value. So analog phase shifters are used in the phased array antennas, where it will be particularly used in the applications of the radars. Radar systems to ఎక్కువగా phase shifters will be used. So here coming to the phase shifters, digital and analog or dielectric phase shifter or analog phase shifters or variable phase shifters, which will be used for the many applications. So wherever the antennas you are using or instrumentations, there you can use the phase shifters only. Okay. Another important phase shifter which will be related to the variable phase shifter. To get the more precision in the phase shifter, then we can choose the rotatory van phase shifter. Rotatory van precision phase shifter, sorry. It consists of the 3 circular waveguide sections. The center one is rotatable. So here you can see all 3 vans, which is considered as a circular waveguide section. Circular waveguide section. So center one will be rotating, similar to the rotatory van precision attenuator. Rotatory van precision attenuator. The operation also be similar. Here also you will be transmit the EM wave, and they will be having a 90 degrees electrical signal will be rotated, and the signal will be given to the second van, and only electromagnetic wave only that will be considered here. So that signal will be given to the third van. Okay. So this is the rotatory van phase shifters. And coming to the S parameters. So far we discussed the phase shifters and attenuations, and next waveguide components flow. So we can discuss the main important topic which will be related to the measurements. So here S parameters, or other name for the S parameters is scattering parameters, which will be called as a scattering parameters. Okay. To calculate the current and voltages in the circuit, we will use the 2-port network at low frequencies. But in microwaves, we will prefer the high frequencies. So at high frequencies, to calculate the circular behavior, we are using the S parameters. So S parameters are scattering parameters, which will be used for the very high frequencies. So here, S parameters are written in the form of matrix. So S parameters which will be measured in the matrix only. Okay. And this scattering matrix is always be square matrix. This scattering matrix is always be square matrix. So square matrix means here the 1-dimension scattering matrix and 2-dimension scattering matrix and 3-dimension scattering matrix. So like that, S11, S11, S12, S21, S22. This is the 2-dimension. Always they will be prefer the 1 by 1, 2 by 2, and 3 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4. Like that, they will be prefer the square matrix only. Other matrix will not be possible. That means 3 by 2 matrix or 2 by 3 matrix, that is not possible in the scattering matrix. In scattering matrix, the diagonal elements are always be considered called as a reflection coefficients, and the remaining elements are called as a transmission elements. Diagonal elements, which will be called as a reflection elements, and reflection coefficients, and the remaining elements are called as transmission coefficients. So here we can see the basic diagram for the 4-port network. So port 1 and port 2, port 3 and port 4, and waveguide or waveguide junction, microwave or microwave junction. So microwave junction, which will be preferred for that particular, how the signal will be taken, how the signal will be comes out. So like that, here you can represent it here. So here microwave loads means some microwave components are connected to that particular representation. So both will be preferred. Whatever the diagram which you are seeing, 2 diagram, they both will be correct. Okay. obtaining the scattering matrix we discussed tomorrow. Today we discussed the introduction about the scattering matrix. Okay, scattering matrix అనేది మనం ఇక్కడ discuss చేసాం. For a transmission lines which is used for the low frequencies, there we can calculate the voltage and current by using the circuit by using the two-port network. Okay, but it is not supported for the high frequencies. High frequencies lo support cheyadu. Okay, and here high frequencies which will be used for the calculate the circuit behavior using this S parameters only. Okay, and today we discuss the attenuation and the phase shifters and introduction to the S parameters. Okay, this is the introduction about the S parameters. So attenuation we already know, and phase shifters means which will be maintain the phase of the signal throughout the signal. Okay, this is the representation of the phase shifters. Okay, tomorrow we'll discuss about the scattering parameters for characteristics, and we can discuss about the obtaining the scattering matrix, and that will be related to the E plane and H plane. I can discuss about tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Any doubts?